Good morning. Today we will discuss regarding sensors and actuators sensors. Now in computer process interfacing, to implement process control, the computer must collect data from and transmit signals to the production process. So the components required to implement the interfacing. So these components are: first is sensors. So sensors are required to measure continuous and discrete process variables. Second component is actuator. So the actuators are required to drive continuous and discrete process parameters. Third component is or are different devices. Devices like ADC and DAC. ADC means it is a analog to digital controller, and DAC means it is a digital to analog controller. And fourth component are input and output devices for discrete data. Now in a computer process control system, you can see the different interfacing elements that are required. So on one side you can see the sensors. So the signals from the sensors are in a analog form, but that signals, so computer requires that signals in a digital form. So for that, ADC means analog to digital converter, it is required. So these are the input devices. Now the signal or the analog signal from the sensor, it is converted into digital form, it is sent to the computer. And the digital signal from the computer, it is converted into analog again before it is sent to the actuator, because the actuator requires or takes the signal in a analog form. So for that, ADC and DAC, these are the uh, devices that are required for signal conversion. So the sensors, ADC, DAC, actuators are the interfacing elements for the computer process control system. So sensors and ADC, these are the input devices, and DAC and actuators, these are the output devices. The basic principle of sensor. So a sensor is a device that, when exposed to a physical phenomenon, that is temperature, displacement, force, etc., produces a proportional output signal, that is in electrical, mechanical, magnetic form, etc. So the sensor, it is defined as an element which produces signal relating to the quantity being measured. It can be also defined as a device which produces a usable output in response to a specified measurand. Measurand means it is a quantity that to be measured. Here the output is usually an electrical quantity, and the measurand, that is the quantity that to be measured, is a physical quantity, property or condition which is to be measured. Thus, in case of, say, an electrical resistance temperature element, the quantity being measured is a temperature, and the sensor transforms an output of temperature into a change in resistance. The term, so the sensor is a device that produces an output signal for the purpose of sensing of a physical phenomenon. A sensor is a device that receives and responds to a signal. This signal must be produced by some type of energy, such as heat, light, motion, or chemical reaction. Once a sensor detects one or more of these signals, that is input, it converts it into an analog or digital representation of the input signal. Now, human beings are also equipped with 5 different types of sensors. So you can see the eyes that detects light, then ears that detects the sound, then mouth or nose that detects certain chemicals, then hand detects pressure and temperature. Now mechatronic system overview. So you can see the different interfacing elements. So you can see the basic system, then the sensors that sense that senses and send the signal to the control system, and control system again that send a signal in a required form to the actuator, and that actuator actuates the system. So this is a cycle. Now transducer, a device which converts one form of energy into another, that is called a transducer. Now see the basic difference between sensor and actuator. So when input it is a physical quantity and output it is a electrical quantity, then it is called a sensor. When input it is electrical and output it is a physical quantity, then it is a actuator. So that is the basic difference between sensor and actuator. So you can see the sensors, the physical parameter, it is converted into electrical output, and actuators, electrical input, it is converted into physical output. That is the basic difference between sensors and actuators. So sensor, transducer and actuator. So transducer, it is a device that converts energy from one form to another, and sensor converts a physical parameter to an electrical output. Example, the microphone. This is an example of sensor. And actuator, it converts an electrical signal to a physical output, that is opposite of a sensor. For example, a speaker, that is a actuator. So example of electronic sensor system. So you can see the components vary with application. So first is digital sensor with an instrument, then the analog sensor analyzed by PC, and third is the multiple sensors displayed over internet. These are the examples. Then classification of sensors. So sensors are classified according to power or energy supply requirement of the sensors. Second category is according to various measurement objective. Third category, it is according to principle of operation, and fourth category is according to output signal. So first category, that is according to power or energy. So it is subcategorized as, or it is classified as active sensor, then passive sensor, analog sensor and digital sensor. So active sensors, so sensors that require power supply are called as active sensors. So for example, light detection and ranging, photoconductive cell. So this is an example of active sensor because it requires a power supply. So it is called a active sensor. Passive sensor, sensors that do not require power supply are called as passive sensors. For example, HG thermometer. Then analog sensor. Analog sensor produce continuous signals that are proportional to the sense parameter. Example is analog tachometer. So that is an example of analog sensor because it produces continuous signal that are proportional to the sense parameter. Digital sensor. So digital sensor produce digital outputs that can be directly interface with the digital controller. So for example, the digital tachometer, it is an example of digital sensor. Then next category, that is, or the classification, that is according to the various measurement objective. So different types of sensors are temperature sensor, pressure sensor, level sensor, displacement sensor, flow sensor, speed sensor, and biosensors. So temperature sensors, a device which gives temperature measurement as an electrical signal, is called as temperature sensors. So examples are thermistors, thermocouples, etc. And the application of temperature sensors are digital thermometer in boiler, furnaces, gas turbine, etc. Then pressure sensors. A pressure sensor measures pressure typically of gases or liquids. A pressure sensor usually acts as a transducer. It generates a signal as a function of the pressure imposed, such a signal is electrical. So example of pressure sensor is biometric, piezoresistive pressure sensor, etc. And application, it is required in boiler, in gas turbine, etc. to measure the pressure. Then level sensors. So level sensor detect the level of liquids in a tank or container. So examples, the magnetic and mechanical float, pressure transducer, pneumatic, capacitance, load cell, etc. And the applications are oil water tank, boiler, etc. Then displacement sensor. So displacement sensor is used to measure the distance and position. So examples are capacitive sensor, AD current sensor, inductive sensor, that is LVDT, etc. And the applications are various industrial applications, robotics, etc. Then flow sensors. A flow sensor is a device that sensing the rate of fluid flow. Typically, a flow sensor is the sensing element used in a flow meter. So examples are velocity meters, laser based sensors, Hall effect sensors, thermal mass flow meter, etc. And applications are in industrial use for measuring the flow rate, the flow sensors that are used. Then speed sensors. So sensor used for detecting speed of an object or vehicle is called as speed sensor. Examples are wheel speed sensors, speedometers, lidar, ground speed radars, etc. And applications that is used in bike, car, tachometer, etc. Then biosensors. A biosensor is an analytical device used for the detection of the analyte that combines a biological component with a psychochemical detector. So application, it is a blood glucose biosensor, etc. Then next category of the sensor is based on according to principle of operation. So these are subclassified as resistive sensor, capacitive sensor, inductive sensor, and ultrasonic sensor. So resistive sensor, it is a transducer or electromechanical device that converts a mechanical change such as displacement into an electrical signal that can be monitored after conditioning. Resistive signals are among the most common in instrumentation. So examples are potentiometer, strain gauges, thermistor, etc. Then capacitive sensor, a capacitive sensor which generate a electrical signal according to the input. So capacitive sensors can directly sense a variety of things, motion, chemical composition, electrical field, and indirectly sense many other variables which can be converted into motion or dielectric constant such as pressure, acceleration, fluid level, and fluid composition. Then inductive sensor and proximity or inductive sensor is an electronic proximity sensor which detects metallic objects or any things without touching them. So this is very important type of sensor. So without touching the thing, it can detect or it can sense that thing. So application, it is a metal detector, traffic lights, car washes, etc. That is called the inductive sensor. Ultrasonic sensor. Ultrasonic sensors work on a principle similar to radar or sonar, which evaluate attributes of a target by interpreting the echoes from radio or sound waves respectively. It is used in a NDT. Then light sensors. A light sensor is something that a robot can use to detect the current ambient light level. That is how bright or dark it is. So examples are photoresistors, photodiodes, phototransistors. So it is used in a CRO, cameras, and mobile phones, etc. That is a light sensors. Then sensor performance characteristics. So we will see the different types of sensors based on the static and dynamic characteristics. So we will see this characteristic here. So first, that is a transfer function. The functional relationship between physical input signal and electrical output signal. Usually, this relationship is represented as a graph showing the relationship between the input and output signal, and the details of this relationship may constitute a complete description of the sensor characteristics. Then sensitivity. The sensitivity is defined in terms of the relationship between input physical signal and output electrical signal. So sensitivity is generally the ratio between small change in electrical signal to a small change in physical signal. As such, it may be expressed as the derivative of the transfer function with respect to physical signal. Then span or dynamic range. The range of input physical signals which may be converted to electrical signals by the sensor, that is called the range. Or now the signals outside of this range are expected to cause unacceptably large inaccuracy. So this span or dynamic range is usually specified by the sensor supplier as the range over which other performance characteristics described in the datasheet are expected to apply. Then accuracy. So it is defined as the largest expected error between the actual and ideal output signals. Then hysteresis. Some sensors do not return to the same output value when the input stimulus is cycled up or down. So the width of the expected error in terms of the measured quantity is defined as the hysteresis. Then non-linearity. So often it is called linearity. The maximum deviation from the linear transfer function over the specified dynamic range. So that is called the non-linearity or the linearity. So there are several measures of this error. The most common compares the actual transfer function with the best straight line, which lies midway between the two parallel lines, which encompasses the entire transfer function over the specified dynamic range of the device. Then noise. All sensors produce some output noise in addition to the output signal. The noise of the sensor limits the performance of the system based on the sensor. So noise is generally distributed across the frequency spectrum. So many common noise sources produce a white noise distribution, which is to say that the spectral noise density is the same for all frequencies. Then resolution. The resolution of a sensor is defined as the minimum detectable signal fluctuation, that is called a resolution. Then bandwidth. All sensors have finite response times to an instantaneous change in physical signal. In addition, many sensors have decay times, which would represent the time after the step change in physical signal for the sensor output to decay to its original value. Then we can see this table. So the quantity that to be measured and the different sensors that are used to measure that quantity. So to measure the pressure transducer that is used. Then the measurement of flow, the flow meter it is used. Then physical quantity, that is force and torque. So the applied force, to measure the applied force or torque, the load cell it is used. Then to measurement of strain, the strain gauge it is used. For measurement of displacement, LVDT that is used. Another sensor that is used for to measure the displacement is the ultrasonic transit time. Then measurement of velocity, velocity meter that is used. Then acceleration, accelerometer that is used. For measurement of temperature, thermometer is used. And measurement of heat flux, the thermal flux sensor that is used. So this is regarding the sensors and actuator sensors. It is actually a introductory part. Thank you.